It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. I hope you have had a fabulous week. It is starting to, be a little extra nice out here in the Pacific Northwest. We're kind of in that stage where we can go and do something nice outside and it will be, 55 and sunny and it'll be beautiful and we can go start to explore some of the more lowland areas. Well, everything else gets snow still, but the end is in sight and I have a lot of fun things planned. But in the past couple of weeks, me and Sarah have managed to get out and just kind of walk around, check out some areas, lots and lots of fun. Every year, winter, like right now, that kind of like April, May in there, I'm so ready to get outside and thaw out a little bit. So it's been very nice, very nice. Well, a couple of weeks ago, my buddy Aiden, the Ontario Rockhound, sent some rocks to mount up and stuff, and I've been kind of working through some of those. One that he sent is very, very cool. It is this right here, okay? And it is quartz crystals with hematite inclusions, which is very, very nice. Well, I took that to the microscope this week and produced several good images, I think, that kind of really show some of the inclusions. There are these... Anytime I image something that has like facets on it, like a crystal, it's really hard to not get like that hot spot reflection back up into the lens. So sometimes there's nothing you could do about it in the process of taking images and post. But they're still good and they still get to show some of the inclusions in there, which is very cool to see. I mean, I often get asked by people if it'd be interesting to look at what they have under a microscope. And the answer is, it kind of depends, okay? Generally, the things that look good to your naked eye are not good to look at under the microscope, example. So if we take this, which, look at that Columbia Basin agate. Okay, so we take this and that looks cool to your eye. If I put this under the microscope, all you're going to see is scratches for the most part, because this is polished to be seen with your eyeballs and not under magnification. So really you got to be looking at little tiny things that you wouldn't expect. And that's just the way that goes. It's kind of a fun process of exploring stuff you have no business probably taking home for the most part. Getting into that whole world of microminerals. Well, I also received something very nice this week that we need to open up. Now, some of you might know who this is from. Some of you may not. But if you watch Lapidary Dave's channel at all, you may have seen a guy in the comments there named Full. Also, Kyle, World of Rockhounds Kyle. You may have seen him over there as well. And Mr. Full, he makes jewelry, does a lot of turquoise stuff. I don't actually know if he does the stuff that's not turquoise. I think that's his rock of choice, which that's cool. I mean, it's always good to have like a thing that you're going to specialize in, This is very well wrapped up. Very concerned that the post office would crush it, I think. I'm going to recycle some packaging, which that's good. A package within a package. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas. Hey, here we go. Who doesn't like a lovely gift like this? Well, he definitely gets an A+ for packaging. That's for sure. A+ for packaging here. Oh, it just started raining. It's that crazy, crazy time of year. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, let's put this stuff away. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at this bolo tie. That is beautiful. So we have turquoise here. I am not familiar with the exact location that this turquoise came from. There's a lot of to my untrained eye, there's a lot of turquoise that looks kind of similar. But there's also a lot of turquoise deposits that are right next to each other. Very nice. Look at that. So he did the silver work himself. Not a Rio Grande setting, all custom. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I've actually never had anything like this. Amazing. Beautiful polish on it. Look at that. Well, I am going to have to try this guy on here. Yeah, that slides up. I like the thick cord. The thick cord is very cool. Well, thank you very much, Full. That's very... Oh, hey, there's a... Let's do that. That's nice. I didn't even notice that was in there. A little microfiber for cleaning. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. It's one of the things that I never kind of expected in the world of rocks, minerals, lapidary jewelry is kind of like how generous people are, right? I give away a lot of stuff. A lot of people, I think, how to say this? Maybe it's just once you get to a point, you have an abundance and it's fun to share. The most enjoyable part about holidays, like Christmas, things like that, is often just giving, the process of giving. So, Full, thank you very much. I will cherish this for the rest of my life and wear it to many occasions. Very beautiful. Also, this thing, since I know somebody's going to ask, every time I open up something here on the channel, people ask, this is a knife that I made back in my knife making days. So this is the second knife I made. Very cool, in my opinion. I got that dovetailed handle there. Boom. Yeah, fits my hand like I made it for it. Well, on to some of the meat of this evening's topic. I would like to talk about some trends. There are some trends in the rock world, and generally, I think they are all quite good. I actually really like it when my fellow kind of creators will have kind of this a theme to stuff kind of goes around, in the wintertime, lots of people will show their complete collections because it's wintertime and we need content. Or, if I start making videos about something and then somebody else makes a video about it, but it's their own angle, I love that because you can learn so much by having that different perspective. However, I have seen in the past 2 months, many creators, posts, things like that, talking about dangerous rocks. And I don't think it's a good trend because it is always very over the top and exaggerated, and I don't care for that. It seems slightly disingenuous to be like, rocks that could murder you. It makes for good clickbait. If I took the thumbnail for this video that you clicked on, and I changed it around and made it more sensational, and does it grab your attention more? Probably. Does it actually help people learn? No. So let's take a few minutes here today, and we're going to look at some examples, and I will tell you a little bit about them. First off, let's talk about the dangers of rocks. Now, everything you see behind you, everything, all the rocks, basically all rocks, if you grind them up and put them into the air, that's bad to breathe in. Shouldn't have to tell you that, but inhaling stuff into your lungs, bad for you. Doesn't matter what the rock is. Next, I think that comes up is I don't have a good piece of galena. The little galena that I have is right here. Let's take that lid off. That's a tight one. That little piece of galena, okay? Galena contains lead. Is it bad? Is it bad to handle? I mean, some, no. If you work in a lead factory, that's a little different, you know. It's a lot of this has to do with time of exposure. So everything I'm going to show you here today, if you're a casual collector, you know, don't put it in your mouth, don't put it in your lungs, and don't handle it barehanded and then finger all your other rocks and stuff and cross-contaminate. So it's about being kind of clean. So we do have galena and other natural leads, which obviously lead's not super good for you, right? But, you know, in the process in which I was handling this specimen for the mounting in this micro mount box, it doesn't matter. It's not enough exposure to mean anything at all. Next up. Ooh, look at that. Very yellow. So, orpiment, cinnabar, mercury. This is kind of a dusty one. It does decay over time and in light. So containing the dust, you can kind of see right there in the bottom, maybe in the bottom, there is some dust in this, and containing that is good. You know, generally, if you're an adult, none of this is really much of an issue. Obviously, if you have little kids, like, you know your kids, don't create a situation that they have, like, yeah, I don't know, like put it in their eyes or something. Put it in their eyes. Fibrous things, basically everything fibrous can get in your skin, in your lungs, in your eyes. So even if it's super, super cool, like this that was sent to me, look at that, very beautiful piece. Very loose fibers, but sometimes it's not always highly fibrous. Sometimes it is mildly fibrous. This piece of tremolite. This is very lightweight. You can see right there on my glove. That's why I have gloves on. That's why this lives in a box, okay? And I'm not even going to set it on my table because then I got to clean the table. But I will do some of this. I'll show you. So these live in a box. Pretty simple. You could always break them up outside and have them live in a specimen jar if that's what you chose to do, but another one where it's totally fine to own and collect. The big one that, so those have natural occurring asbestos in it, chrysotile, tremolite, those are natural forms of asbestos, but it is very different. Same thing with the galena and the orpiment with lead, mercury, asbestos. When we process it on an industrial scale, it is very, very different. Living in a house that has asbestos insulation or mastic glues with asbestos that's coming up into your space, you're having like 100% indoor exposure. That's why that's bad for you, and that's not so bad. Not bad. The next thing that comes up often is radioactive rocks and minerals, which is something I love so much. I love my radioactive rocks, and I have a good selection, and they are fun. and they do light up the Geiger counter, which is cool. Who doesn't like the Geiger counter? And in that case, probably not a whole lot going on here with these tiny little ore samples, but you can see right there we have some autunite, and it is glowing. Another one where this is kind of crumbly material, so I keep it in a jar, but very, very low levels of radiation, even a more concentrated, good pieces, which are fun to look at and very, very beautiful, you know, like very UV reactive. We can set the Geiger counter right there. And this, the Geiger counter that I have is good, but it's also slow, right? So that's one of the problems with it. It's not like that, like snap your fingers instant reading. It's like hold it near the thing and it will kind of show you a reading. Something where, you know, do I store these under my pillow? No. Could you have them in your house? Absolutely. You know, the world of radioactive rocks and minerals are a little complex. There's some great books that you can get on the subject. There's a guy here on YouTube, Radioactive Drew. He's got a great channel on it. A lot of the hype and fear behind radioactive minerals, radiation, is just, it's really overstated. You know, people think radiation, they think like 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl. This isn't Chernobyl in a jar, okay? Even though we have some slightly higher counts per minute reading, it's not that bad. Boom. How about some uranium ore here? Yep, come on. I gotta get it out of that mason jar. Another one where it no real reaction on the shorter end of the long wave spectrum, but still you know, radioactive. I mean, you know, about the same here, that ore. These can be had in your collection and they're not going to kill you. They're not going to pull a gun and murder you. That's not what they do, you know. Are they fun for everybody to collect? Maybe not. Fun for me? Yes. Very much so. Very much so. Stuff's from Utah. The one thing that I do think is actually risky, because it doesn't look like anything, is stuff like this. That is an Americium 241 button. And this little tiny radioactive button doesn't look like much, but it is radioactive. So we're still kind of dropping, but it is radioactive, and that is more of a concern because it doesn't look like anything that a person should be concerned about. So something to take into consideration when looking at all of these dangerous rocks. Well, you can have them. They can be fibrous, lead, mercury, asbestos, radioactive. What am I forgetting? Dusty. And contain it, collect it, enjoy it, and you'll be fine. You will be fine. You will not be dying anytime soon. And you'll be good. You'll be good, just like me. Once again, thank you again, Full. This is a beautiful piece, and I will have it for a very long time. I like that. I like that. Lovely. All right, everybody. Y'all take care. Thanks for coming by, listening to what I have to say, and I will catch you in the next video.